It's been 6 months she's been seeing him off and on, now and again. Sometimes in her head she doesn't know if she's got a man or just a friend. He calls her up and she comes running because she's willing to give her love. She knows he can't give it all back, but it's all right because the rest she gets from above. So she's on her way home and she hears her phone ring because he's got that special tone. And she answers to that voice he's got so sexy on her phone. And he's saying, where are you? How far are you? When can you be here? And she doesn't tell him she's on her way to get her hair done because any other day she can get her hair did. So now she turns her car around and says, baby, I'm on my way. And she starts to drive towards his house and starts thinking along the way. See, she hasn't had a great selection in the last couple of years. And this man is the best she's had out of all the other pairs. So when he calls, she jumps, hops, runs, and skips. And she gives him all of her and everything else she forgets. So as she's speeding to his house, she knows he said he can't give her all the love she wants and needs. He can give her about 50, maybe 60, 75% if she absolutely needs. But it's okay because it's better than being lonely, better than sitting at home at night wondering who's getting the other 50, 40, or 25% then. See, she knew what it was like to be in love. She knew what it was like to have someone want her near because she had it in the past. And he said he always wanted to hold her dear. But she lost that somehow because she lost herself in the mix. So she let that go. And she found herself out here in all these sticks. But while she was out here, she learned that in order to love someone, she's got to love herself first. So she did that. She found all that love inside and quenched that inner thirst. So now, here comes this man who's just as fine as can be. And I'm not talking about just looks. I'm talking about the mind, the brain, the soul, and at last his body. So here she is, pulling into his neighborhood, staring at his house. But she hasn't opened her door. And she's thinking to herself, can I go through this once more? Is there a chance he could say he actually loves me? Is there a chance he can hold me the way I think I need to be? Is there a chance that he could love me like the chick who broke his heart before me? See, because he told her everything he'd been through and all the pain that he had had. And even though she's been consistent and been faithful, he's still been somewhat kind of sad. So she knows she's not the one he wants to be with. But she realizes, you know what? I'm a hell of a replacement. And that chick can kiss my butt. So she gets out of the car and step by step she walks to the door. She prepares herself and gets herself ready mentally and more to deal with the fact that when she walks to the door, she'll never hear I love you. It'll just be, baby, how you do? But that's okay because it's better than being alone at home with nothing else to do. So she walks in and this time he comes around the corner. Something looks a little different, a little bit odd. And she's just wondering. She's a little perplexed, a little confused because she sees things. She sees something in his eyes she hasn't seen before, and she gets a quiver, a quake in her thighs. And as she walks slowly over to him, he says, yo, I missed you. Where you been? She tells him she was out and she ran through her day. He says, you know I love you, don't you, by the way? She had never heard him say those words, and she got all hot and her heart skipped a beat. But she knew within her mind, yeah, he said those words to me. But does he know what those words mean coming out of his mouth and going into my ears? Does he understand? She's not just listening. He got her, and all his words she can hear. He reaches his hand out, and for the first time he touches her face, and this is big. Because her daddy said when a man loves you, he'll want to embrace not just your waist, but your face. Because he'll want to look at you in your eyes and drink you all in. So he has enough of you to be drunk until he sees you again. So he takes her by the arm, and for the first time they make love. And she knew it because it wasn't in the living room, kitchen, or in the family room rug. It was in the bedroom, and for the first time since they'd met, all night long she stayed and slept. So as she fell asleep, she could hear and feel him breathing on her neck. And she could feel his leg touching her leg, and she knew that it wasn't just sex. So she closed her eyes because for the first time she knew she was going to go to sleep and not have to get up and drive home at 4, 3, or 2. Except when she closed her eyes and she opened them back up, She was sitting in that driver's seat of her car, and she hadn't moved not one bit. See, it had all been a dream. It was all in her head. And what woke her up was the tone on her phone and the message that she read. He asked if she had pulled up. She replied, "I'm in your driveway. I'm walking up." He replied back, "Come on in. The door's open. I'm waiting on you." And after she sent that message, she sat in a seat and thought in her head, "It's okay. You can do this, and then you can go home to your bed. It's all right. You'll walk in here. You'll let him do what he does. You'll close your eyes and can pretend that you're not there and that you're someone else that he really loves. You'll be the Band-Aid that he needs you to be, and you'll tell yourself over and over again, it's okay, he wants her, but he's sleeping with me again." So she opens the car door and she steps out and starts towards his door. She gathers everything inside of her, somewhere, some more. The one that won't get hurt when it's all said and done and it's a good fuck, she'll pack up her stuff and leave without him even asking what's up. She'll get in her car. She'll drive home at 2, maybe 3 a.m. It's all right. She's not alone. And maybe next month he'll call her again. He'll call her to do it again. They say to have loved is better than to not have loved at all. I don't know who wrote that shit. Somebody dropped the ball. Because I can tell you, to have loved and lose it and never find it again has got to be worse than never ever finding it and knowing it from the beginning.